Okay. So I wanted to start off by just saying, okay, so this is the blockchain, this is the technology cryptocurrency runs on. So when a transaction happens, it gets recorded into a block, like this little block right here. And there's tons of these little transactions that go into this block, and then they get valid. Well, they go to a once all the transactions go into this block, there's these nodes. These nodes are like ledgers, like an accounting, and there's an accountant takes a ledger of all the transactions that happen. Well, there's nodes all around the world. For example, like Darlene has a node, a ledger, Ralphie has a node, a ledger, and so has a ledger. And so all these ledgers make sure that they all record the exact same transaction, and they all agree that this transaction is valid. So they all validate the transaction, and by doing so, by validating the transaction, they get rewarded in Bitcoin. So this happens. This whole thing right here happens every 10 minutes. And this new block gets created in all these transactions, and it gets added on this block. Every 10 minutes it creates a new block. This is why it's called a blockchain. So it's a chain of blocks. And these blocks are full of transactions. You repeat it real quick. When transaction goes in, creates a block. The nodes receive it, the ledgers around the world. And then these validators verify that they all agree that a transaction was verified. It's the same one. But if it's a fraudulent front transaction, it would be like, oh, this guy received a fraudulent transaction and it doesn't match everybody else's ledger, so they don't count it. You get it?
So it's basically a certified receipt for any purchase, what you're saying?
Yeah, it's kind of like a certified receipt, I guess you would say, but everybody has the same ledger. If everybody agrees that everybody got that exact same transaction in their ledger, it gets verified. And everybody agrees with it, and by verifying it, they get rewarded with Bitcoin. Yeah.
How much is one Bitcoin again?
Right now it's like $25,000, just one Bitcoin. But this happens every 10 minutes.
And every block's unique, right?
Every block
it's like
has different transactions.
Every block's different, right?
Yeah, every block's different. These nodes, these validators are also called miners. And these miners, they're the ones that secure the network. And I'll explain what miners is in the next one. But these miners are like all competing to create it's like a lottery, and they're all competing for this lottery. And by competing, and the first one to guess the correct number, the correct hash, they get rewarded in Bitcoin. So they're also like validating. So that's why they call them validators or the miners. You know. So that's how the Bitcoin gets created into the world, and this is how many Bitcoins get released every 4 years. So every year when it was created, 2009. So first, every 10 minutes, there's 50 Bitcoin released to the world. Every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes. So this gets cut in half every 4 years, kind of like the World Cup, right? So every 4 years, the supply of Bitcoin gets cut in half. Fewer and fewer. And what does that cause? It causes scarce and supply and demand. The value of Bitcoin goes higher and higher. And these are miners. You can buy these for like about $1,000 to $40,000, and they're literally printing you money every day, you know. But they cost a lot and they suck up a lot of energy. But these are the miners that you put them in. They're called ASIC miners. You plug them into the internet and you start mining Bitcoin. Well, into the surface, to their platform where you mine Bitcoin. You can either join a pool with other miners, or you can do it by yourself. But what's the chances? It's the same thing as a lottery. If you put your money with everybody here, your chances of winning the lottery are a lot better than playing by yourself, right? So that's the same thing how it works with mining. So people join these pools to win more Bitcoin together than instead of just mining by themselves. So this is what happens every 4 years. The supply of Bitcoin gets cut in half. As you can see, this is 2020. The next one is in 2024. So you could just imagine it's going to be a lot less. And every 10 minutes, this is how much Bitcoin get released to the world. So in 2024, it's going to be 3.125. So it's going to be a lot less Bitcoin, you know. So right now, you're going to remember these days. You're going to be like, God damn, I was alive during that time when they were giving away this much, you know. You're going to regret these numbers one day. Just believe me on that. And then the next one, I'm showing you how inflation works. So basically, you know, in 1998, with $20, that's how much you could have probably bought with full of groceries. And 2025 came, less and less. This just comes to show you how much money they print every year. It's just the value of the dollar keeps on going lower and lower and lower. And it's the exact opposite for Bitcoin, because there's less Bitcoin going around. Every few years, when you hold the Bitcoin, the value of it just goes higher and higher because there's less to go around for everybody. So as you keep on going, and for 2021, that was the day when it reached 69,000, you're able to buy the fucking Tesla, you know. So it just to show, prove to you how valuable one Bitcoin goes compared to the dollar. So the longer you hold dollars in your bank account, the less money, the less value you're going to be holding. Right now, inflation is 8.5%. So you literally have to invest your money, because if you're holding it, you're losing 8.5% on your money in the bank. So if you invested in at least something that's 8.5, you're breaking even. So you have to invest your money in something that's 10% or above, or 9% and above, just to make that 1 extra percent on the value, because they're printing so much money that you're losing value that much faster. And right now, for the past 10 years, the best investment, better than real estate, better than stocks, better than gold, has been Bitcoin. That's the best investment that has ever existed for the past 10 years, and it's been around for 13 years. So that's literally the best investment to ever live. And then I'm gonna tell you what blockchain is and what did it call it, why does it benefit the economy. First of all, there's no such thing as fraudulent transactions. You know about credit cards, there's so much fraud. There's no such thing as fraud in blockchain technology, because everything's verified on the blockchain. You can see, cool, Darlene spent this much on the blockchain on this day, and you can go back till the day it was created. You can go as far as the day when the first transaction. And there's no such thing as a fraudulent transaction. Next, identity fraud. There's no such thing as identity fraud. No one can steal your identity because you're anonymous on Web3. So when you go, let's say, for a Tinder, there's no such thing as talking to a vato when you don't know, because they're verified now. So you know you're talking to a girl, and if she said who she is, because she got verified on the blockchain. Same thing for scams. There's no such thing as, well, there is scams right now going on because it's so new, you know, and it needs to be regulated. But the scams are going to be dropped down a lot more, because there's going to be like, oh, you're talking to the legit person, you know? Like, instead of you're talking to a scammer, you're talking to a legit support, or you're talking to like a legit company, because they'll be verified, and it says it right there, they're a verified account. The next thing is supply chain. This is going to be a lot faster, better for the companies to get where their supply is supposed to be going to. So everything's going to be authenticated, and if, for example, if something, a Louis Vuitton got created and it is in the process of getting reached the retail store or whatever, and it gets lost somewhere right here, they'll know exactly at one time in 1 minute it got lost. So it's a better supply chain. So it gets the supply to where it's supposed to be a lot faster, and it authenticates the supply. So there's no such thing as a fake Louis Vuitton, a fake Rolex, a fake whatever fake art piece, because it gets verified on the blockchain. If it's not verified by the blockchain or an NFT, it's not real. So there's no such thing as fake shit anymore. So that's like a multi-billion-dollar industry, completely eliminated by blockchain technology. So that's just one benefit. I mean, this is just three. I'm just scratching the surface. There's several more benefits, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys. You know. I mean, if you guys have any questions on this, yeah.
So are NFTs sort of related to Bitcoin?
They're not related to Bitcoin. NFTs are like, they work on a different blockchain. They work on different blockchains, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to create NFTs on the blockchain, on Bitcoin's blockchain. But I'm getting to NFTs, and I'll explain it further, so you can see how they're made and how so and so. So this is, I don't know if you guys have any more questions on this, but I'm moving on.
The blockchain is going to be translated to all commerce, right? So
everything that has to do with supply chain.
Yeah.
It's gonna revolutionize the whole economy. It's gonna this, like supply chain. Oh, I want to order this. Boom, de volada, you're gonna get it. Right now, we don't have the infrastructure to deliver it like that fast.
Yeah.
But this is just that one extra step to help us get the supply, our products to you that much faster. This is why Amazon is investing so much money, not on cryptocurrency, but on blockchain technology.
To help their product.
To help their company get their products to the customer a lot more faster.
And efficient.
And efficient, you know? And then authenticate the sellers to say, oh, this company says who they are saying. Because a lot of Chinese companies sell a lot of China, and they're not authentic. Yeah, they're not verified. So blockchain eliminates all that fraud. Okay, so this one's a little bit more complicated, so I gotta take it extra slow. So Bitcoin is a layer 1. I'm sure you guys know these coins. These are pretty popular coins. Ethereum is a layer 1. Binance Smart Chain is a layer 1. These tokens live or work under these blockchains. So this is its own blockchain. This is its own blockchain. This is its own blockchain. So these work underneath these blockchains. So when you're sending this token to your wallet, you got to make sure it's ERC20 underneath the Ethereum blockchain, because sometimes you're sending it and you put it's a BAB20 and you're gonna say, how come I didn't fucking receive it? It's because you sent the wrong token to the wrong blockchain. But let's say you have it on this blockchain, this token, you could always transfer it using a bridge. And every time you use a bridge, it's like a toll. They charge you fees for switching from blockchain to blockchain. Okay, and it works the same thing for NFTs. The NFT, you could switch them to, but it's always going to be worth more where it was originally created. It was created on this blockchain. It's always going to worth way more on this blockchain because they got copied on this. This is not the original blockchain it was created on. Okay, so everything else that is not Bitcoin is an altcoin. So when they say altcoin, it's all of these freaking coins that, other than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the Mac Daddy of all. You know, it's the most expensive one, and it's a coin. Ethereum is a coin. Binance layer 1 is a coin. All these other ones are tokens. Tokens live underneath the layers. Layer 1. These are tokens. These coins, yeah.
So
These
token is below
the
coin.
blockchain, yeah. They call it a coin because you need these to interact, to use it as transaction fees. So if you want to interact with these on this blockchain, you need Binance to pay for the fees for these. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you want to use this blockchain, you need Ethereum in your wallet to pay for the fees to use these tokens. Hope that makes sense. And same for NFTs. You want to create an NFT, it costs you Ethereum to create an NFT on the Ethereum network. People create NFTs on the Ethereum network because that's the most used, the most popular, that's where the money's at. They use this. The second one is Binance, which I recommend that one. The fees are pennies. You want to interact with this chain, it's pennies to interact with Binance. You interact with Ethereum, it could cost $1 to $50 just to do one transaction. And I'll explain that, yeah.
What does NFT mean?
NFT, non-fungible token. I'll explain that on the next one. Yeah. And what was I saying also? Think of it as freeways. This freeway only has 2 lanes. And it gets packed, it gets jam-packed, so it costs more money to get around people, you know?
And it's a more popular freeway.
And it's the most popular one. Just 2-lane, it was created the first. This one has like a 50-lane freeway. Everybody's just jumping on. It's practically free to use. Everybody's using it. So that's how it was taught to me. And if you want to jump to the next bridge, to the other blockchain, you gotta use a bridge to go onto the next blockchain. But you just gotta watch when you're sending coins to one coin, you gotta see which token you're sending it to what blockchain. Because you could lose your money that way.
So Ethereum one is the most known people.
Yeah, it's the most.
And the Binance is the more like startups and.
Oh yeah, that you can see it that way because like if you're a startup, you don't have a lot of money to promote or to spend on transactions.
Yeah.
Best one to use is this one. People use this one a lot to create NFTs because they're cheap to make. But Ethereum is the most used one. It's called a smart contract. So you create smart contract. Anyone can create it. They're free to make. You can create a smart contract saying, I sell these for $50. I have only 50 of them made. And you create it yourself, put it on the Ethereum network, and people can buy them off of you. And then there's only one of 50, 2 of 50, 3 of 50, so and so. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Hope you guys don't have any more questions for this. All right. Hope that makes someone say, I hope you learned something new. One thing is that, you see, I don't know if you noticed that ERC20, BEB20. They'll tell you when you're transferring, they'll be like, double check if it's an ERC20 token, or double check it's a BEB20 token, so you know what chain it is on. That's one thing that I know is very difficult for newbies to understand, you know? So this is one thing that they're going to, hopefully they make it easier for everybody to use, because it's a little bit complicated doing transactions. Okay, so this is where non-fungible tokens come to play. So non-fungible NFTs, what are they? So first I got to tell you, they're called non-fungible tokens. And the reason is, first I need to explain what is fungible. Fungible is when something equals to each other. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. One gold bar equals one gold bar. $1 equals $1. So that means fungible. They're fungible. They're equal to each other. Non-fungible means this basketball card does not equal that basketball card. This cat does not equal that cat. This art piece does not equal that art. They're completely unique to each other. But there could be 100 of this exact kitties, but it could be like 1 of 100, 2 of 100. So that makes them unique still, you know? Just like if you buy a Pokemon card and you got the 1 of 100, you know it's going to be like the most valuable one because you got the 1 of 100. I hope that makes sense. Same thing goes for NFTs. What could be an NFT? Anything. A building, a house, a car, tickets, Rolex, you name it, Louis Vuitton, you name it, clothing, this computer, anything can be an NFT. So for example, this is an original NFT right here. What you could do with it, you could fractionalize it like this, create it into tokens. So now we could all have a piece of that NFT. So we can all sell it, interact with it in tokens. Same thing happens for a house. We could turn it into a building. We could fractionalize it, turn it into an NFT, fractionalize it, sell tokens. Now we all have fractions of we all know pieces of the building. So I hope that makes sense. So there's going to be multiple investors in one unit, or like let's say you have a house. This is happening already. You want to sell it really fast? You turn your house into an NFT, you fractionalize it, you sell it one day. This is happening already. You fractionalize it, you're not only going to have one buyer, you're going to have hundreds of buyers because you're fractionalizing it. You turn it into NFT, more affordable for people to buy and invest. So you turn this into an Airbnb. You turn this house into an NFT and it's fractionalized. The day they get paid for the people staying there, everybody gets their share of how much it costs to that the people stay there. Their share. Same goes for Tesla. Let's say we fractionalize it and we turn it into 4 equal pieces. Me, you, Darlene, and Ralph, and Compa, we all got a piece of this Tesla. We bought it. This Tesla, because Tesla's already implementing this platform where you sign up your Tesla and it turns into a taxi. So when you're at work, you'd send your car to go work for you. So while you're at work, your car's making you money. And by the end of the day, it comes back and it says, oh, I made this much money. All 4 of us own the NFT, the car, and it sends us the money that they owe us, but what it made for us today. This is already happening, and Tesla's already implementing it. So this is just a fraction of what's going to happen. Same thing, I'm going to show you guys right now when I went to the convention 2 weeks ago of how it's being implemented in the clothing line. But this is just an example. Same thing for tickets. They get verified, they're legit because they're an NFT. They're on the blockchain. So there's no such thing as buying fraudulent tickets, and you can sell them that much faster because there's no such. You can even be anonymous in selling them. They don't even have to know you. You just send them the money. They're verified on the blockchain. It's by a smart contract saying a smart contract is. I will put it for you in simplest terms, which is a vending machine. That was the first smart contract ever created. A vending machine. You put $1. You want a Coca-Cola. It gives you spits out a Coca-Cola, right? That's a smart contract. That's what it does. It does what you put it to make it do, So if you sell these tickets, they're like, oh, I want these tickets for $400. Someone sends $400 to the smart contract, and it says, oh, I got $400. Here's your tickets. You don't even interact with the person. That's what a smart contract does. So okay, I hope non-fungible tokens makes sense to you. Right? That's just. I'm scratching the surface here. This is huge.
I didn't even know they're doing NFT on real stuff. I thought it was just just like art.
You look, you Google NFT buildings. There's like already 100 of them already. Yeah, and then I know they're building some in Seattle, which are the first, and they're doing this for houses too. Realtors. So right now they're being the middleman of buying the NFTs, and they're like, oh, let me make some money off of the house, and they buy the NFT and sell it faster. So, an idea, throwing it out there. Yeah, it's just a little thing, but if you ever want to learn more, there's tons of videos on YouTube about how that works. And it's just the way to stand out because no one's doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a lady who...
Give me 1 second, alright, ready, 1 second, go.
She's explaining, this is NFT Clothing. Okay, so what it is, it has a chip right there, you see? And that's the NFT. There's no such thing as a fake chip or like a copy of a chip. There's only one chip. If it gets destroyed, that's it. There's no more copy of that chip. You scan that NFT, they call it NFC. It's a non-fungible chip. There you go, sorry. Non-fungible chip. So it's they scan it with the code. The guy's about to scan it, you see? Verifies it, goes on the blockchain. There's a one of a kind shirt. No one owns it other than you. It's a 1 of a 100. You're gonna probably do this. This is gonna happen to shoes and Nike, Adidas. They're already doing this. You see, they're verifying it, and this makes the supply chain run that much faster because it's everything verified. There's no such thing as fraudulent clothing, fraudulent shoes.
That's big because the shoes are a big issue.
Exactly. This is why you guys are going to be using it without even you guys even knowing. But it's the best time to invest when no one knows about it, or people are scared of investing because they're not educated on the technology. So that's when the people make the most money. So right now she's showing you how that works, and she's saying that I just verified this on the blockchain. It's authentic. It came from this designer. You own number 42 of this piece, and it's authentic. You see, they scanned it, blah, 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 blah. I hope that makes sense, and it's pretty simple, straightforward. And she just showed me the pants. She had several. She put it on shirts. She put it on shoes. She put it on wallets. She put it on purses. She did it on everything. She even did okay, so this is security. This is the most important part, which I always recommend to have at least 3 or 4 wallets. So when you first start, or like when I help you out, we're gonna set you up with like 3 or 4 wallets, because you never want to put all your eggs in one basket. The thing, you never want to keep your private keys or screenshot your private keys or your password. That's the number one way you lose your phone. Guess what? Easy. I drain you out. I drain you out of all your coins. Service safeties. Always check who you're interacting with as far as service goes, support and stuff like that. Always back up your C phrase. This one I kind of argue enough. This is super important. You gotta always back up your C phrase, because the day you are like, oh, I'll just put it for later, you lose your phone or place where you kept it. That's it. All your money's gone because you forgot to back up your keys. This is what I'm trying to say is you're your own bank. You don't trust no one else. You're your own bank. No one tells you what to do with your money. So if you don't safeguard your finances, you lose them. So you got to be on top of them. And beware of phishing scams. This is the number one way people lose their money. They put their information on the wrong website. They put like Coinbase and then put an extra S or something, and they're thinking it's the legit website, and they put in their legit credentials, and they just gave their hacker their information. They get in, they steal all your funds. This is why I would recommend bookmark the legit website, and always go to your bookmark. Never type it in. And another one is you never use social media to interact with nobody, because that's where they tell you, oh, give me your C phrase or your private keys, and I'll tell you what's wrong with your wallet. And that's when they drain you, because you just gave them your private key. Double check the address where you're sending it. Always double check. I always triple check. And the last 4 digits and the last 4, I'll show you how that works right now. Check the locks where on the website. There's like a little lock on the website. Always check it has it, because if it doesn't, that's probably a fraudulent website. Avoid storing large portions of your crypto on an exchange. This one happened to me. I got the website went down. These always go down. They get hacked a lot. So if you store a lot of your money in an exchange, these either get bankrupt or they get hacked. One of the two has happened to me twice.
Things like the online ones, like Kraken, things like that.
No, Kraken's pretty safe, but I mean, it can happen to them. It's just like that, but that's a perfect example. Kraken, Coinbase. You never want to keep all your money in there. As soon as you interact, you buy something, send it to your hot wallet. Your cold wallet, where you keep all your coins, where like they can't get a hold of it because you have your C phrase in a piece of paper. They can't hack your piece of paper, you know. Keep your holdings private. Never tell no one how much you own, and never share your private keys. That one, never ever share your private keys or C phrase. I can't argue that enough, guys. Because that one. This is the number one way. Oh, this one and this one. These are the 2 best ways to get hacked. People think they're interacting with support when they're really support will never ask for these. They will never ask for private keys or secret. And people are like, oh, it's support. I can give it to them to help me out. It's not. It's a hacker. They even send you emails sometimes, like once a month, saying, please do not interact with support. We never contact you. Please do not send us your private keys or secret. We will never ask for that. This is how they get hacked. Newbies don't understand this, and they've never been taught this, so I gotta repeat it over and over. Never share these private keys with nobody. Put them on a piece of paper and then hide them somewhere. I always laminate them, put it in somewhere safe. Never share them with no one, because that's your bank, you know. That's your retirement. And this is how a private key looks. It's all long letters like this. And then this is how a public key. This is a public key you can share with anybody. This is only for them to allow them to send money to you. So you can put this on a billboard outside, and it doesn't matter, because first of all, they don't know who you are. This is just a bunch of numbers. Second of all, they're only allowed to send money there. That's it.
One way.
It's a one-way thing, yeah. One way. So this one, they're only allowed to send money. This one, they're allowed to take all your money. But when you create a wallet, they either give you a private key like this, or they give you 12 words. You write them down, and then you put on a piece of paper. I never suggest storing them in your computer or USB or anything digital. Always put them in a piece of paper and store them away, because a piece of paper cannot get hacked. So at least you stay safe and you don't worry about it. So that's pretty much of a private key. And what is the difference of a hot wallet and a cold wallet? I'm sure you guys heard of crypto.com, but that's considered a hot wallet because they guess your password, they could take all your phone, and they guess your password, they could take all your crypto. That's considered a hot wallet. And Atomic Wallet is one that I always recommend. It's easy to use, super easy. You can buy, you can sell, you can store, and you can even stake, which by staking, yeah, sorry, bro.
What if you forget your password? What
Oh, there's for as far as passwords, like for this one, if you forget it, you just say create a new password. You just re-enter your passphrase, and then you create a new password like that. But if you forget a password for, like for example, this one, it tells you, oh, you forgot your password, just send me an email and create a new password. Well, you forget a password for this one, you have to start a new wallet again. But with the same secret key, with this, sorry, this, how do I go back? Oh, whatever. The secret key, if you just plug it in again, it gives you an option to create a new password. So that's a lot of ways. Password doesn't really matter. As long as you have the key seed phrase, you have all your money with you. Even if you lose your laptop, you still have your seed phrase. Web3 is the only wallet that allows you to interact with decentralized finance and dApps. dApps means decentralized applications. This is the new form of apps that are going to be coming out that you guys probably have not interacted with. I'll show you an example later if you guys want to see one. But Web3 is you're anonymous. There's no such thing as remembering a password for every single website. You know, a Web 2 is where you have to plug in your email, your password, and you log in. You know, Web 3, you just click on your MetaMask and it logs into your website. There's no such thing as remembering a password, and you log into all the applications like that. Just one click. As long as you have a MetaMask wallet, you just one click and you enter the Web 3 platforms.
So it does it for you.
It does it, yeah, because anonymously too. So there's no such thing when you create a MetaMask wallet. There's no such thing as, oh, put your name, email, nothing. It just tells you, here's your wallet address, save it. That's all it says. Here's your wallet address, save it. The rest is never give it out. It tells you right there. That's the only way for them to steal your money is by giving them that seed phrase. This is the best form of storing your cryptocurrency because it's always offline. So this is they call it cold storage. I have one of these. So basically, you have all your cryptocurrency in here. I mean, if they get a hold of your Trezor or your Ledger, they still have to figure out the password. And once they figure out the password, they still need to know how to hack this thing. So you're interacting with Web3 with these, but they're offline. You know, so it's more secure because they're offline, completely offline. Just like a piece of paper, it's offline. Something that works similar to it, but just with technology. That's pretty much it. I didn't want to overwhelm you guys with too much things, but I do have one more thing to show you guys. Do you have any more questions back there?
No.
No? All right.
And that, if you use that, you're done, huh?
Which one?
The cold wallet, huh? The hardware.
Hardware? Yeah, these are, I have a few. I have like one for each wallet that I use. And I keep it like that because I like to be organized. Oh, okay, this wallet's for this one for that, and this one for this. I even have one for my IRA. So I know I'll never get my IRA stolen because everything's here in this cold storage, you know? You can even do that self-custody IRAs. The best way to go. And if you guys need one, I can recommend one. But a lot of paperwork, and they create an LLC for you with Missouri. They create an LLC for you in Missouri, and then from there, you buy the assets you want. Okay, so here is the other one. And then this one is, I already have it here. So the number one question is that I get from a lot of you guys are like, hey Joe, where can I buy this and where can I buy that? Or how can I do research on this? Or how can I do research on that? Or what is this? Is it worth buying? I always get asked questions like this about, oh fucking, is this a good buy, Joe? And I'm like, damn bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know nothing about it. But this is the best place to come. It's called CoinGecko. You come here and you see. And if you want my investment, well, not advice, but what I invest in is I invest in layer ones. Just how I was showing you, layer ones, because layer ones are the most used coins, because you obviously have to buy those to interact in the blockchain. So you, like, look at the top 10 are mostly all layer ones. Those are the most used and the most valuable. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, these work. They're obviously US dollars. They're always going to be $1. See. So those don't really count. See, this is a layer one, 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 that's a US dollar. Mostly all of them are all layer ones. You want to invest in layer one tokens? Well, that's what I invest in because I know people have to buy those in order to interact in their blockchain, and the value is always going to go up for those because people have no choice but to buy them to use the blockchain that they're on top of. So that's the reason why I use it. For example, let's say the one I always get asked the most, oh, you think XRP is the most a good buy? Well, I always tell people, okay, so look at the max supply. How many is there? There's 100 billion of them. And then people, almost impossible. You gotta look at the max supply. You always people be like for example, I'll show you another one. This one. This is people don't Shiba Inu Dogecoin. So people, they're like, oh, you should buy some, bro. There's 999 trillion. And people are like, you think it'll go to $1? Hell no. If it goes to $1, it's going to be worth more than the world market all put together. That's physically impossible. It'll never go to $1. It'll probably hit a penny, but then once it hits a penny, it'll probably go back down. But that people have to look at how much the total supply there is of a coin. The less of amount of there is of a token, the more chances of it going to $1 or $100 or whatever. If there's a less amount, like Bitcoin, I forgot to mention, there's only 21 million.
So this one's called CoinGecko?
CoinGecko, yeah. So I'll show you even more about it. So for example, Polygon, this is another one I recommend you guys look into. It's $1. They just partnered with Disney like a month ago. So Disney's gonna build their metaverse on top of this blockchain. So this is the one they're gonna be using, Polygon.
In their universe.
And their metaverse.
Yeah,
Their metaverse. So they're gonna be building like I don't know, they had Star Wars Land or whatever.
Yeah.
When you go inside Star Wars Land, you're gonna interact with your phone, or you're gonna be collecting tokens or anime figures, and they're gonna have like scavenger hunts in the metaverse. But it's like you interacting in the park with the metaverse at the same time. So this is just one idea. Well, you got to do your homework of the tokenomics. That's what they call it, and see how much there is. Because if you guys invest in these ones with a lot of tokens, the chances of going higher is not that high, you know?
So what do you look at a number, like say for max supply, that you feel comfortable in
1
investing?
billion para abajo. 1 billion down is what I look. But this one,
Billion with a B?
yeah, with a billion would it be?
A billion
But
below.
I'm okay with this one. 10 billion is cool because there's tokens. Burn them. Like for example, there's companies that be like, oh, if you buy our product, we'll burn some of the tokens, so the supply goes down because there's less and less tokens because they're burning them. I hope that makes sense. So like, kind of like what we do with the US dollar. If it gets old, we trade it, right?
Trading.
Yeah. So like, just to keep the inflation down, and well, that's what happens with these. They do the same with some of the tokens. You gotta just
Make it more valuable.
make it more valuable because they burn them. You see, and some of the engineers, they implement games into their metaverses with these tokens, and they're like, well, if you use our game, we're gonna burn some of the tokens. So it causes people to play these games because not only they're increasing the value of the token that they bought, they're increasing the value of the game and the overall economics of the token. So you got to do your homework, you know, what you're investing in. But once you come here, you'll find all the legit links. Their actual website, their actual smart contract, their actual Twitter account, their Telegram. These are where you want to come first before you go into social media. You come here, you go directly to their legit one because you think you're interacting with their legit one, but it's probably not. It's a fraudulent one. So I hope that makes sense. And you come here, and the number one question I always get asked, hey Joe, where can I buy this token? So you come here, and you go to markets. And right here it tells you all the places where you can buy this token.
Do they have a number for favored ones or top
Yeah,
ones?
right here it tells you the volume. So this is the tell. Oh, at this exchange it's going for this much, and look at the trading, the 24-hour volume. So this is how much it traded within the last 24 hours, $12,000. So you always want to trade where it's the most amount, like this one, $81 million, because less fees on those, less trading fees. I hope that makes sense in that. But you go here, you click on the whatever, I want to trade right here. It takes you directly to where you trade, and you buy it. Because this is the number one question I always get asked.
Oh, to Binance?
Well, how do you can't use Binance? You would have to use Binance.us because they don't allow. Yeah, because in order to use this one, you would need a VPS, a virtual private network, because U.S. citizens can use it.
Why do they do that? Made a Binance US.
Okay, so they to make it more ¿cómo se dice? Regulations. They regulated some of these exchanges where they call it KYC, know your customer. So you have to register and put your name, your phone number, your ID. You have to put all that.
Yeah, they gotta make sure it's you. Do your
And
ID.
some of these don't require that. So if you put it, they're all like, oh, you can't interact with that one because the U.S. doesn't allow it because they need to know it's you, and then you have
Oh,
to.
they're trying to tax
So like
you.
yeah, so like oh, it's not allowed by the U.S. citizen.
Oh.
Or some of them, not all. Some of them are completely decentralized, and you could use them as long as you have a VPN or you're using a MetaMask wallet like this one. And this is how MetaMask wallet looks. You just click on it.
So decentralized means that you don't have to put an ID.
Yeah, no, you just put in a password,
Yeah.
and then I can interact with any.
But decentralized means that they don't know it's you. It's anonymous.
Yeah, it's anonymous. So this no, not really. Okay, decentralized means this. There's centralized and there's decentralized. A centralized one would be like Coinbase. It's centralized. It's owned by the company,
Yeah.
CEO, and there's customers and shit. These are decentralized. There's support. There's engineers that created it and whatnot. But it's a self-sustaining smart contract. There's no need for a CEO or anything. It's a self-sustaining contract, and
Yeah.
it's decentralized. I mean, means like there's a token, right? And there's validators. You know how I told you there's a lot of. The less amount of validators you have, the more centralized it is. Because I'd be like, oh, there's only us right here. It's pretty centralized because
Yeah.
you know, three of us get in, and we'll be like, hey, you know, us three right here.
Let's make it
Let's
legit.
make it legit, and then it goes by us. You know, that's pretty centralized.
Yeah.
It's a small amount, but decentralized is when it's like 10,000 people and it's completely decentralized because
Yeah.
they all have different ledgers and they can't all like say vote for the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
So that's more decentralized than it is
So
centralized.
it makes it more fairness and less chance for.
Exactly, it makes more fairness. But so the less amount of people, more centralized, the more amount of
Yeah.
nodes, the more decentralized it is. I hope that makes sense. And that's how some of these exchanges work. And now so I wanted to share this website with you guys because this one gives you guys all the information you need when you do your homework on a token. You just go here or YouTube. You just YouTube the damn name. What is Polygon? And tons of videos will come out and tell you exactly what is Polygon from A to B, and even give you the latest news about it. Like right now, like I told you, this is a good buy because they just partnered with Disney about a month ago, and it's still $1. Freaking amazing price. I think it's a bargain. And then this one. And if you guys want to do more homework, you guys come here to categories. And they're like, Joe, what's a good okay, here it is. Joe, what's a good Metaverse token I should get into or whatever? You come here and you go to categories and you go to Metaverses, and it tells you the top Metaverse tokens right now in the market. These are the big daddies of the Metaverses. Yeah, it starts from number 1 all the way down to the best Metaverse tokens there is right now. And you just click on each one and whatever you like and whatever you think is more you think will be around for years. These three right here are the most used and the most. This is where Snoop Dogg and celebrities have their land. And so if you want to,
they're expensive too. Right?
Yeah, like one piece of land, like a little, just pixels. They're pixels.
Yeah.
It goes for like $15,000, bro.
Yeah.
So if you want like a pixel next to Snoop Dogg, you're talking about 40 grand
Yeah.
just to have buy a pixel. Just you could throw concerts on there, anything. You can build whatever you want, bro, and it's completely decentralized. You whatever you want, you can build on it. A car wash or whatever, because people are using cars in there. People want to look fancy, you build a car wash. There's strip clubs in there too, believe it or not. We went to the convention 3 weeks ago, and this guy's already building a strip club in the sandbox already. It's called Stripperville. Yeah, I swear. So you buy these NFTs and they're strippers, and you send the strippers to go strip for you at the strip club, and all the money that they make for you in the strip club, goes to your wallet. It's just like a pimp. Yeah, so that's just the Metaverse, bro. The sky's the limit. You guys have no idea. And if you guys want a more broad idea of what is the Metaverse, I would recommend watching Ready Player One, because it's like a good explanation of what the Metaverse is.
Was that a movie?
It's a movie.
Ready
Ready Player One explains the Metaverse freaking perfect. That's what we're going.
Video games, huh?
Yeah. If you guys never seen it, it's a good movie to watch, and it explains all of this in detail, and
Yeah.
it's a good movie too.
Okay.
So that,
Ready Player One.
yeah, and it's such a good movie, bro. Okay, so just remember, you go here, categories. If you want to learn about meme coins, what's the best meme coin to look into? They'll tell you right here. Go to meme coins. Dogecoin, whatever. It ranks all the meme coins there is, and that's how you do your homework. You click on it, and you find out for example, Floki, Inu. You go here, you look at the token amount supply, the circulating supply, and some of these, the reason I don't like them is because every 10 minutes or every 2 minutes, I don't know, each one works differently. There's more and more and more and more created, just like the dollar. So why would you even want to invest in something that just keeps on going up and up and up? Yeah,
When this
exactly.
is circulating supply, that's just shit that's moving around right now? Like
Yeah,
in
circulating supply. That's what's in the market that's moving around.
Okay.
Like in exchanges and wallets, that's what's moving around. This is the total supply overall.
Okay. Now, one thing I've always had a
24-hour volume right there.
Okay, one thing I've always had a question about, like I didn't understand, was the staking.
Okay, staking.
To me, I was wondering, is staking kind of like when you have money in
okay.
the account, you can do a
Not all tokens offer staking. Half of them. Ethereum is moving from proof of work. Proof of work is like mining. You know those mining machines I was showing you earlier. That's proof of work. Now proof of stake is when you stake your coins on your wallet, and you securing the network by the more tokens you put it into the stake. So like let's say, I own 100,000 and Ralph owns 1,000. I'm securing the network more because I'm putting more of a stake in the network to secure it. I'm using my own tokens to secure the network.
You're kind of basically leaving it in the bank, like where you
Yeah.
can get an equity off or interest off. Of.
Interest, there
Okay,
it is.
so that's what
Staking means
is.
interest, pretty
Okay.
much. Like a
Yeah,
savings
I
account.
was thinking if it's similar to like a CD account.
No, CD, you have to lock it up. Staking, you don't lock it up. You can take it out whenever you want.
Okay, but like basically, I am putting that money in there, like entrusting it into that bank. And
You can take it out whenever you want, but it's like a savings account.
So it is more beneficial to stake than whenever you can or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Do you stake? How much of your assets do you stake?
Whatever is available for staking, I stake them. I'm not gonna lie. Most of my tokens are not stakeable. So the ones that are, I stake them because not all tokens give you the option of staking.
How do you know where the staking option is on your?
Okay, so for example, this is where you do your research. You go to Floki Onion, for example, right here, and it tells you all on their white paper. Every token has a white paper.
Okay.
A white paper, you see this? White paper. You click on their white paper and it tells you all the tokenomics about the token. The treasury, the tokens, how to buy, so and so, everything about it.
It's just a breakdown.
The breakdown of the
It's
token.
a lot of shit, dude.
Yeah, it's homework, but you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was telling compa, instead of dedicating yourself to learning who's in second base, you freaking learn about this on your day. When more time into this, you're gonna. I have a review of my cousin, bro. He's my first actual customer that came to me to teach him about DeFi, decentralized finance. So I taught him how. It was a 3-day process. Pretty much, he would come to my house 2 hours a day. I taught him how to do DeFi. Spent 10 grand, made 72,000 within 2 weeks. Though I showed him how to use his money in staking and all these programs and shit. I can call him up right now, put him in speaker, and it's not a lie. Fool, he'll tell you. Yeah. So I could show you how to use decentralized finance, but it takes some time, bro. It's a super time consuming. But I mean, I didn't have no one, so I had YouTube to teach me. But if you guys learn from me, you will learn it in a couple days, 3 days, 2 days. But that knowledge that I teach you, it's gonna benefit you for years to come.
Generational.
Yeah, it's gonna be. You're gonna put your money to work for you to the point where there's no point of working anymore. Like even if you invest $10 or $15 a week, it's gonna be life changing money for you 5-10 years from now. Where you can retire that much faster. The more you put in now, the more faster you. And I'm gonna say all of these are gonna be winners. I would say 95% are losers, but that 5% that made it for you are gonna always overtake. And that's how it's been for me. I lost a lot of money in the 90% that I invested in, but those 5 or 10% that I put my money in always overtook the losses that I had. Because there was not 100%. It was like 1,000,000% that price increase,
Yeah.
It was freaking huge, bro. So it's always gonna be like that with DeFi. You don't know which ones are gonna be. It's kind of like playing. I would not say it's playing the lottery because the lottery is all of a chance. Right here, you learn what it is. Your chances are freaking higher of winning the lottery because you're putting in some work on learning on what it is. The technology. So this is why I always recommend to just learn a little bit, at least an hour a week. What is blockchain technology? The more you learn, the more you're gonna make. Simple as that. That's all it is. Yeah.
So who runs all this? Like who runs that Floki?
Okay, some of these are completely decentralized. They're just a smart contract. You're just interacting with smart contracts. There's no engineer. Well, there was engineers who created it,
Yeah.
but
That's what I'm saying. Who created it?
Oh, you go to the what? You go to the white paper. Como te enseñaba right here. The white paper tells you who created it. Legal disclaimer. Some of these guys are anonymous, so you don't know who it is. Yeah. So, when it's an anonymous group, I don't invest. I'm gonna be straight up, because I like to go by what they created before, and if they created a successful cryptocurrency before or a successful smart contract, I'm like, oh, dad, this guy comes from experience. I'm gonna invest in his.
It's kind of like a Yelp review, right? Like, you know, you go to a restaurant and you're not gonna go to a restaurant that doesn't have a Yelp review,
something,
right?
something like that.
Something that's established.
I'm gonna give you a better one. Like, let's say, the creator of Google, it's two guys, right? And let's say these two guys get together again and create something different. You're obviously gonna invest in that right now because you know freaking how Google is, how big it is. It's the same thing how it works for some of these guys, these developers. That's the word I was getting. Not engineers, developers. They sometimes come from successful programs that they unite sometimes, and they create an even better program.
Yeah.
So you just gotta follow which developers are who, and like, oh damn, this guy has a good portfolio under his belt that I'm gonna invest. Sometimes you don't even want to invest in the token. You want to invest in the developer himself because you know he's good shit.
Yeah.
That's how it works with these smart contracts. And right now, people are making stupid money creating these stupid meme coins, which I don't invest in meme coins and I don't recommend them. People lose a lot of money in them. That's all it is. They're just meme coins. I mean, would you put your money in a meme coin? I definitely not wouldn't. But I mean, some people like Elon Musk, he finds it as a joke. He said it himself. It's a joke to me. He's like, I can't believe people invest on what I'm saying, and so he does it for fun, So that's just one overlook over it. But I don't know if you guys have any more questions. Yes.
Okay, I have a couple questions.
Yes,
That's
even
okay
better.
with you. I would say first, as like an audience, and say if you show this to like 100 people on the streets right now, it's so like unknown, and that's where there's a lot of speculation, at least on my part. So like one of the questions is like, is your portfolio only consist of crypto? Like this is your own?
Yeah, okay. It's kind of like Warren Buffett. He invests in what he knows best, stocks. So he's like, he only invests in what he knows. He's not gonna invest in technology or cryptocurrency or real estate because that's not his profession. My profession is this. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I put my money where I'm a professional at. You see, so if you're a professional at real estate, I would recommend you to put all your money in real estate because you're a professional and you know how to multiply that real estate even more and more because you're a professional at it. You see, why would you want to diversify in everything when you only know a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this? You're not a professional at one thing. You don't specialize in one thing. People want someone that specializes. They don't want someone that knows something broad. Brought a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They want someone. If you were to hire someone to work in your house, would you or an AC unit guy? You want someone that he specializes in AC unit, not someone that like your friend. What was his name?
Like you're all trying to figure it out.
There you go. He knows a little bit about it. Where you give money to him? No, you want someone that specializes in.
I mean, I guess you can like on that like on the latter aspect of it, you can educate yourself on like other topics. Like me personally, like previously you said like this is like the most reliable source of income. Say like, would you say this would dominate the market in a year?
Okay,
5 years, 10
that's
years?
perfect that you said that because AMC just announced last week they're the first stock to tokenize their stocks. Do you think they're going to be the first ones? Hell no, they're going to be. There's going to be. That's just the beginning of it. That's the snowball of it, bro. All other companies are going to be doing the same. They're going to see there's more money in cryptocurrency than there is in the stock market, and they're going to tokenize their stocks just like AMC just did. And they even give you a better one. They said if you buy our stock right now that we're tokenizing, we're going to give you a limited edition NFT. You think it's going to go crazy right now? They're going to this limited edition NFTs. They give you perks to like one limited amount of movies you want or whatever. So this is just one of the benefits that cryptocurrency is going to bring to companies. Let's say Best Buy, they're freaking going bankrupt. I'm sure of it. They're going to be like, oh, we need to bring up our stocks. So what they're going to do, they're going to come out with our NFT, and they're like, oh, buy our NFT and you get 30% off on certain day, or like something like that. You get, I don't know, the sky's the limit.
So
But companies are going to be doing that.
Be like the next big thing.
Oh, definitely. Just
like
it's like me telling you about the internet in 1994. It's the same exact process. Right now they're building the roads for it, and this is where you want to get in when they're building the roads for it.
Yeah, I guess right now because like
the infrastructure.
it's so like unknown. That's where skepticism like does.
Oh yeah, of course. That's
like, right now I have like much more information in terms of the stock market.
Yeah.
And real
I
estate
can't blame you.
being
Yeah.
involved. So that's why like me personally, like I want to like diversify my portfolio in terms of having like multiple sources of assets and income.
Yeah.
And I don't need to like be a professional, but enough information to calm myself.
To make educated
That makes
decisions on
sense. And, like,
investing.
Just seeing this and just like I always knew of Bitcoin, but never like what it was. And the only reason I knew of it is just because of craze about it. And I guess like right now the question is like why, like in terms of the ethics behind it, because I know like society in and of itself is like advancing technological advancements, but just hearing like the term metaverse and just like seeing like the examples that you were giving, like how things are just becoming on your phone, and just like I don't get the craze as to like the ethics behind it. That makes sense.
Okay, well you do. We're moving into a digital world, bro. Whether you like it or not, everything's gonna be digitalized, and it's the truth. Everything's gonna be digital. We spend most of the time in the digital world, you know, and everything from stocks to everything you own is gonna be digitalized, you know, and this is just the beginning of it for when it comes as far as from stocks, your traditional stocks, to they're gonna digitalize stocks as well, and it's an infrastructure they have to build, and it's not gonna just take 1 year. It's gonna be 5 or 10 years down the road where they completely move their stock market into the blockchain technology, because there's not going to be no such thing as fraudulent, like you know, those fraudulent movements in stocks and stuff, like where like so and so shorting so and so. Everything's real life, real time. There's no such thing as where a company buys and they short another company. You're going to see everything in real time, and that blockchain allows you to do that, make more educated decisions when it comes to investing in stocks if they put it on the blockchain. Right now, you have to do more homework on the stock market to invest in stocks, because it's more hidden information. You got to really look into it. This is open technology. Anyone can see it, and anyone can look at it, who did what transaction. You can even look at billionaires' wallets right now if you wanted to. I can even show you.
Everything's transparent.
Everything.
We're all older, so we're so used to the money, you know, like straight up cash. This crypto and all this new generational money, like that's in the ethers and the internet and all that. That it's like we're barely trying to catch up, and you guys being young,
you're
you
more
can get
advanced
really
on that
ahead.
already.
Yeah, like with that said, and like you're like positive it's going to dominate the market in terms of this is going to be like
Yeah. It's already being implemented in the infrastructure. Banks are going to hold it for you. They're going to give you loans to buy homes. This is already in the works, where like you can use this as collateral to buying homes. Big companies like Tesla, Disney, you name it, they're all implementing it into their infrastructure. Because guess what? If they don't put it into their infrastructure, they're gonna get blockbustered. They're just gonna go away.
And there's like more security with this method.
Yes.
Because I like obviously I don't know any of this, and I obviously need to educate myself. But just like hearing the fact that like it's so like digitalized gives like me a sense of like there's risk, because like there's no physical like asset in your hand, if that makes sense.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You're like
But the same way you go into your bank account online, it's just all numbers, bro. They don't even hold that money. They don't even have that money.
How would you confirm that there's cash in the bank?
Yeah.
Like what he's saying is that if you have money in the bank, how do you know there's money in the bank, right? You have to go online and you're just gonna digitally see it.
They won't let you withdraw that money.
They don't physically have that money. If you want $1 million pulled out of a bank,
$1,000 from your bank account. You know what I mean?
it's digital.
They'll ask you for all kinds of information.
And you put it this way. One thing I learned too is that say you want $2 million at a bank, they don't have that money. My sister works at a bank. They don't have that money.
Yeah.
They'll be like, well, get back to us a certain time, and they're gonna have some people come from Brinks, and they're gonna bring the money.
Hey, exactly. If we all pull out our money at the same time, they're go bankrupt, bro.
Yeah, they have the money.
There's no money. They only hold like 10%
It's a
or
monopoly.
whatever it says on there. So whatever you're seeing on your bank statement, it's all digital.
It's just digital.
But yet you can like convert a physical asset into a digital.
This, I could pull out money anytime I want. I could buy a house.
Talking about like the buildings and houses, like.
Oh yeah, you can digitalize this. That's freaking mind blowing to me too, bro. I don't know.
Like you get a share of that, but isn't that like equivalent to like, say that share of like a building, like you can own a stock of a building instead, but like, I don't. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's just like, it's just so new, and I know it's gonna revolutionize the world, but that's just where I have like.
Yeah, it's so new in technology that people are afraid to invest in it because they don't understand it. And I totally understand. They just need more people to educate them, and that's where we like.
Put it this way, Joe was talking about NFTs and his land 2 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago with me, and I didn't believe him. I was like, what are you talking about? He was talking about NFTs. He's like, this is the thing, this is the wave. He started, and then sure enough, it was true. Everything was true. That's why I was like, holy shit. I'm thinking he's talking cuckoo because he's talking about these digital, arts and shit like that. He's like, yeah, he was already investing. I think he invested in land for a video game.
Decentralized.
Yeah, so he was talking about
I got $100 worth. Now it's worth over $15,000.
Yeah.
That part, like, I understand, like, the profit.
It sounded crazy
But just
to us.
like, as an individual, why would you buy like a piece of art
Okay,
that's online?
perfect. Great question.
That's just the ethics behind it.
Great question. Majority of us are going to spend our time on digital and work overseas, or there's no such thing as being a proud American or the American dream. No, you could be an American and live anywhere you want, wherever you dreamed of, and just go online and you're working, bro. As long as you have the internet, you could make money. You could be a millionaire anywhere around the world.
And you can do this.
And you could do this. You could go on
on
Metaverse. You could go on the Metaverse and go to work on the Metaverse. Right now,
A lot of people doing that already.
I know Domino's is buying pieces of land on these metaverses because they want you to go order pizza, you put it on your goggles, and go inside the metaverse Domino's and buy it. It gets delivered to your home. This is already working for the past 2 years.
They have a deal right now with Stranger Things with that right now.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't even know
You just gotta trust in him.
And so you're saying like this is going to take over the stock market.
It's not gonna take. Well, you know what? Probably, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 years from now. But what I'm telling you, it's being transitioned over. That's what it
Saying
is.
the
That's why,
blockchain
like,
is
me right now, because I am like younger than obviously all of you guys. I'm just focusing on like the next chapters of my life in terms of like the future and like what the future is going to hold.
Oh yeah, no, hey, great way to start right here, man. Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little. That book that I gave you, it'll give you a little bit. I'll get down to detail for what I showed you here.
But just the blockchain is a more secure way to do transactions and everyday world right now.
Exactly.
So it's not
I'll make everything efficient.
Not just cryptocurrency, it's the blockchain
That's what changed the world.
that's behind the cryptocurrency, and they're using the blockchain for other parts of applications in life.
Applications in life, everything. You name it, blockchain is gonna make our life a lot easier.
I understand the blockchain part, but it's just like as I said earlier, just the whole.
Yeah, right now there's a new gold rush, and they're gonna call it the new Roaring 20s, which is gonna come up, bro. You gotta remember that. They're gonna call it the new Roaring 20s, because teenagers like you, me, and well, I'm a teenager now. And so they're gonna be young folks like us, young folks like us, that are gonna be making so much money. They're gonna call it the new Roaring 20s.
And there's like a safety net with this, because like say theoretically, is there a chance like?
No, there's no regulation. If you lose your money, there's no one to go to.
Like the metaverse just shuts down. Because it's like solely relied on
On the internet.
You know, that's what I'm like.
Oh yeah. Well, we rely on the internet today. If the internet goes out, the economy stops working. And that's not just the metaverse.
You're not seeing how the whole world runs on the internet.
Yeah.
Right now, without this.
Hey, I'm sure there's girls that are going to commit suicide once their phone don't work, bro. It's going to happen.
Facts.
Those are facts, man. The economy is so infiltrated. There's an infrastructure around the internet with all economies around the world, to the point where like it goes off for one day, the world stops turning, bro. Everybody goes crazy. This is going to be just as big, if not bigger. You think information was worth a lot of money? Well, guess how much? This is currency. This is going to be worth a lot more money, because this is programmable money. You're going to program it to do whatever you want. This is more valuable than information to me, because this is information implemented within currency. So it's like double whammy. You know?
Like for you, as a crypto, I don't know the term,
Guru.
like what you do.
Enthusiast.
Huh?
Enthusiast.
Enthusiast. Do you like do this in order to generate like money? And
Not just. This is
or
my.
do you like actually have the time to buy things from this in
Oh.
terms of like artwork, like you find?
Oh, hell yeah! I get home from work, I do my research every single day, and just instead of watching TV, this is my hobby, and guess what? My hobby makes me more money than my actual job. So this is.
So you just like your terms of you buy something and then sell it for higher? Is that
I'm
how
not a
you buy
trader.
it because
That's a
you
trader.
actually like
Yeah.
it?
My investment strategy is buy and hold. So if I see a project that's gonna be like really good, I buy it and I hold it for over a year. Because if you buy it and trade, you pay 40% in taxes. If you hold it for over a year, you pay 15%. So that's a big difference, bro. So when you buy something, you want to hold it for over a year to pay less in taxes. You know, so this is something I always advise everybody that I teach to not buy and trade, because that's you're gonna pay a pretty penny when it comes to taxes. And everybody's afraid of taxes on this. The coolest part about this is all on the blockchain. The cool thing about, since this is already on the blockchain, everything gets recorded. You just you download a form, give that to your accountant. Everybody's afraid about the whole taxes. Well, this right here makes it super easy for you to do your taxes.
Because they just take it from the blockchain.
They just take it from the blockchain. That's how easy it is. People are afraid, even easier than stocks, bro. Stocks won't. I'm sure Robinhood does it for you, but this is like the paid version of Robinhood to do your taxes for you, for cryptocurrency, because everything is already recorded on the blockchain. Just makes it that much easier. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if you guys have any more. I know you have more questions, right?
Probably.
No, hey, I'm here.
Just like,
Yeah, go for it. I'm here because I want you guys to ask more questions. I'm pretty well versed on it, you can say.